All right. Well, hello for conversation from Bake My Life in Amsterdam.
Bake my life.
Bake My Life. Oh no, Bake My Day. Bake My Day. Bake My Day.
Oh,
Is that
wow.
a is
You
that
have
a
so much energy.
is that a 90s song?
That is doesn't exist.
Is that All right. Well, some of you will recognize the attempt of copying a 90s song. But
Oh, I know what song you're talking
yeah.
about now. Make my day.
Yeah.
Make my day.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So you know what was funny though when we are in this bakery in Amsterdam and the gentleman at the register is clearly Italian and I walk up to him and say I want a coffee and he looks at us and he like lists 10 different coffees like coffee is not just coffee. Come on, man. That shows a true expert, doesn't it?
And then he listed like 20 coffees.
Yeah, and then I got a double espresso because I think that's what he wanted me to have. I had a I had a tall americano in mind, but this is what I got. Okay, so now we are with an oat milk latte, and
And
that's
strawberry, orange, banana
all right. Awesome.
smoothie.
And I'm finishing my. Did you say
Oh,
Moroccan
pancakes.
Moroccan
Those were
pancake?
delicious. I
So-
actually thought he was Moroccan. He's
Delicious.
Italian. Well, his voice, his intonation is certainly Italian.
Yeah. But yeah, very heavy. I think I'll be full for the day, but
Yeah, not me.
delicious. All right, so I was thinking, Andrea, we came here to Amsterdam with this idea of working remotely, working the US time zone, and we are. But how do you think it's going? I'm curious.
I think it's going really well. I happen to know a lot about sleep and sleep hacks, and I can't say we have gotten our full sleep opportunity every single night, but I think we made a really good attempt last night to just be like, nope, we're going to bed at this time, and I think we got.
And
our
what
full-
was that time?
It was midnight.
Okay.
It was midnight. Now I think I crawled into the bed a little bit after you, but the day before was what 2 o'clock and then 1 o'clock, and it's
Yeah.
just because we're working a U.S. time zone, and so we usually end our day after 5 anyway. Um, we'll go to the gym at 7, 8, and so it's kind of within us to keep working past that 5 p.m. limit. But yeah, I think it's going okay.
Okay, so Amsterdam time, we're basically working 2 p.m. to midnight or even 2 a.m. on
Yeah,
some days.
there's a 7 hour difference. I forgot to say that.
Yeah.
So what would be core hours of operation 8 to 5, 9 to 5 is now for us 2 p.m. to midnight, and that's 7 to 5 because we have our morning routines and shows and podcasts and all of those kinds of things.
Mhm.
So that's the difference.
Okay, so it is what time now? It's almost noon, and we are in
And we're
Amsterdam.
still eating on U.S. pop too.
Yeah, we got up at 9:30 this morning, and it's just. I mean, I will say the first 2 days after intercontinental travel, for me is always tough, but we don't give ourselves the time to really adjust time wise because we go
I
non-stop.
need less time to adjust than you do.
Oh really?
Yeah, because I make decisions like this is an 8 hour flight. I'm going to sleep 7 of it, or
Okay.
5 of it, and read 3 of it.
And what was I doing?
Well, usually it's the other way around, I think.
I was watching gory movies.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
watching all of these films that I would never watch with you because they are horror.
Yeah.
But
See,
yeah.
that's the hack, guys. If your girl doesn't want to watch the horror movies with you, watch them when you fly, because she'll be knocked out, and you can watch your horror in peace.
Yeah, so there were 2 flights, and the first one I think was a few hours. I read that whole time, and then the second one I did watch one movie for an hour. hour and a half, and then the rest of the time I was sleeping. And when we woke up, it was morning. So for me, I felt like I don't know, it didn't take too long for me to get on the rhythm. And I think for you, it was a little bit of a different case, not just because of this, the time that we slept, but because your body just needs time to adjust, and the time zone is like it's a big one.
Yeah. So personally, I somehow have the feeling, even though there's more morning time before we start working, I thought we were gonna be able to experience more of the day.
Yeah.
But I have the feeling that in a way it feels like less
Hmm.
than, even though in the US we are like working from dawn dusk till dawn, literally. But I don't know, maybe it's still the time zone. We are what, 4 days in?
I think the reality is we like giving ourselves time to prepare
Mm-hmm.
and not rush back and then hop on a call. And I know for me, it's been different waking up 9 or 10 by by U.S. standards. We would have already been up for 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Like we wake up at 4 a.m. and we're waking up at 9 a.m. I mean, that's a huge difference. So in that sense, where first of all, it's not optimal for me to go to bed at midnight. Like I like going to bed at 10, 11, 9,
No.
earlier in the night, as soon as the night falls. And there's some things that happen to you and you go to bed later and wake up later. It doesn't mean it's always the best time for you. And so I think we don't have in our minds and our hearts like let's rush out and see every single thing we can in Amsterdam, because we're still kind of just adjusting to waking up and eating and then preparing ourselves.
No. Yeah, and what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and then there's of course the setup of the workspace, which makes a big difference. I'm basically working from a kitchen table, and you are working from
Student desk.
a student desk. Yeah.
Yeah, slash table. Um, I don't know. I think I'm a bit more flexible in that nature because you doing hardcore programming in your past life and me being a student or a nomad, I'm so used to working with like a half of a table or stand
That's a
and
quarter of a table that you have.
I know, but like folded up legs in different places. I've lived in Asia, and so I'm kind of used to that. I can get back into that space, but I will say having the multiple monitors and different screens and an optimal setup does help you perform better at optimal peak performance when your environment supports what it is that you need to do, which is long hours at the desk. And so I think for you, especially who have had that setup a lot longer than me, it definitely impacts you. Just because you don't have your, what do you have, 4 screens or 5 screens at all times, and now
Yeah.
you're down to two
Yeah.
or three.
Only
Two,
two.
two.
Imagine. Everybody needs 5 screens to work, right?
Yeah. So I think. What do you think? Do you not think that that impacts you?
Oh, it impacts me a lot because when you know, okay, on this screen you have your Slack, on this screen you have your financial information, on this screen you have your emails, and it's just the time it costs to flip screens. I mean, to bring something else up. That's
The whole 3 seconds it takes.
yeah, but that's like 1,000 times a day. That's 3,000 seconds gone.
Some some would even argue it's context switching a little bit too,
Yeah,
right? 'Cause you're like, where
yeah.
did I? That, yeah. For me,
Well,
it's. I think I concentrate better. I concentrate more because I have a very active mind. And when I have just 1 or 2 screens that I focus on, I've even set up with the new iOS. It changed the software update, makes it to where you can have only one thing at a time, and then a side panel, a very skinny side panel with all of your other
I
things.
don't like it.
I don't like it either, but I get more done,
Oh, okay.
which is crazy.
Maybe
I
that's
have
the
to go
trick.
by the
Yeah.
data.
Yeah.
And it's because I focus like solely on. I could see the blinking thing, but I'm like remembering the task that I had to do.
Mm,
Send off that email or check off this item on the list.
yeah, makes sense.
How do you envision the rest of our time here?
Well, we are. Tomorrow is Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do for Saturday?
Possibly we'll go to Utrecht, which is a city about
Utrecht.
1 hour away from Amsterdam. Possibly we'll go to listen to a concert.
That's next
Strings.
weekend.
Oh, that's next
Oh, you're
weekend.
gonna do the strings this weekend. Yeah, so
I
we're
don't
right
know.
next.
There's so many things to do here in
There's
Amsterdam.
okay. You can look
There's
out.
other kinds of strings here.
Oh my goodness. You look straight out of the window of the apartment and you can see the music bowl, which is pretty nice.
What? Who needs to see your face? It's all about the voice.
There's this music bowl. I call it the music bowl. It literally is not music bowl. It's like music building, but
I think it's
it's
called the music about, if I'm not.
so the music bowl has like
The music.
string quartet. There's even like this spoken word artist that's gonna come next week. I'm really interested. She's a Black American woman who's gonna do her poetry thing, and it's pretty reasonable price. Like I think 20 something bucks for a ticket, and it's right across the road. So one thing I like to do is take advantage of the arts and the like things that are around you very closely in your neighborhood locally, arts and gallery and all of this kind of stuff. So
Well, the good thing is we'll go watch that for free. Do you know why?
why?
Because cryptocurrency pays for it.
This was like man math, like crypto man math.
Yeah. No, I have a setup right now where every day I get 0.5% on my crypto deposits, and it works. I get the money out. So for all of you who are like, this has to be a scam, no. I'm making 0.5% on my crypto deposit every day. Hence, we can travel. And that means that by the end of the week, we can watch that concert for free because it's entirely paid by cryptocurrency.
Oh, I get it. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
On to the music bowl. Very
Uh-huh.
cool.
The musical. All right. So let's see. Being remote workers, especially when it comes to intercontinental travel, is not easy. It may sound very alluring, and it is nice, don't get me wrong, but it is also taxing. So definitely comes with a lot of sacrifices in a weird way.
Yeah.
And but we'll have more of that, right? We'll be in
Indonesia.
Indonesia in December.
Yeah.
We might be in,
It's basically like next month almost.
and then we'll be in Florida. Yeah, there's a lot, but it's all worth it, and it's fun.
Yeah, and I love what you said yesterday about work life balance and your life is your work is your life. And not that you are your job, but your work is a part of your life. And so if you can't get away from work, which we can't, but we like that, then you have to live. And so even though everywhere we go we're working, we're living at the same time. And if that means we go to 5 feet outside of where we are and we're still working, we can see everything that's 5 feet away from
Yeah.
us. A lot of times that's what you have to do. You have to think almost like in a multi streaming way.
Hmm.
It's like multitasking.
We have a beautiful view, by the way, out of the apartment, looking at the River Eye, seeing the cruise ships and the river barges. Even though you can't be on the ship, it still is pretty awesome to work and observe that. Of course, Andrea wants to go on the Panacuca boat.
So there's this pancake boat along the river that is pretty cool. Like even though it rains, it's covered, and they make pancakes in there. And we had pancakes today,
Yeah. So
So
right now, not an appealing thought.
no, I'm absolutely stuffed.
This is so
But
heavy,
maybe
but
before we
good.
leave, we'll go in the pancake boat,
Yeah.
or it can be in the spring when it's
Yeah.
not going to rain.
Indeed. All right. I think that's
Okay.
it for right now. Any other thoughts? Let us know what your experiences are with international travel. Do you find it easy to work remotely, or do you prefer to just zone out or tune out, I should say, and maybe make it either a vacation or
A
a
workation.
workation? We always go for workations. But yeah, see you next time.
Bye bye.